Love Paraphrasing Streaming Safari, and Caitlin, here with Megan, and Ringo. Ringo wanted to do our craft with us today, so he's going to be nice and helpful. And we always want to start off by saying thank you guys for any donations that you've made. I know we just did a Aussie painting post yesterday. We got some donations there. So we really appreciate it. If you guys are able to donate any our way, we do appreciate that. You can donate right here on this video, on our Facebook page, or on our website at lionhouseranch.org. Another way to help out is to buy some Aussie paintings, so that's always much appreciated. And share our posts. So the more people you share, oh my goodness, the more people you share to, the more traffic you get and the more viewers we're reaching. So we really appreciate that as well. You can add us on Amazon Smile if you haven't done so already. Every little bit you purchase, they automatically send a little bit to us, and all those little bits add up. So if you can get your friends and family to get on board with that too, that's super helpful. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and donations. We really do appreciate it, and we depend on it here. We have a question on it.
No, it's from Rexy and Michelle. Birds are his favorite, and birds are her favorite, I'm sorry, and he is so pretty.
Yay! Birds are one of my favorites too. I'm the bird nerd around here, so I love them. They're a lot of fun. How we go? You're a lot of fun. Alright, so today we're just kind of hanging out. We're going to share some silly, fun animal facts with you. So as we go, if you guys have any of your favorite fun animal facts, please share them. We're always open to learning new things that we haven't heard before, or even things that we may have heard before that we kind of forgot about. So as we go, you guys can share your animal facts, and Denise will shout those out for us, and we're going to share some with you. And while we do that, we are going to make one of these fun. This is what Ringo's really excited about, right, Ringo? Yeah, he's excited to eat it. You've heard of Dutchman too. Yeah. I can get it too. Maybe. So, I don't know if you guys have seen one of these before. A lot of times you'll use them as fortune tellers, but today we kind of turned it into a fun animal fact. Fortune teller. Sort of thing. So, what we did was we put 4 different animals on the outside, and that way when we open it up on the inside, we can see our animal fact. So I'm going to show you how to make that while we're talking about our animals. So Megan's going to be my student here. I'm going to teach her how to make a animal fact. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you need a square piece of paper. So if you have a rectangle piece of paper, you can make it into a square really easily by you fold it in half diagonal until your corner matches up with the edge and that whole edge is flat with the other edge. And you can fold it. That way you have this part as a square. And then you use your scissors to cut off this extra piece over here. So I'll let Megan be on the one pair of scissors. I'll let Megan cut off her edge. Well, I share some animal facts for you. Question, horse, animal fact.
Scissors or an adult?
Scissors or an adult, yes. Yes, if you have an adult to help you, always make sure when we're using scissors that we're checking in with parents. So, even if you're, thank you. There is another way to do this. If you can't use scissors, that is fine too, so I'll show you that. You just have to fold your rectangular piece back, and then when you open it up, you have that line there. You're going to fold it back and forth a couple times and make a really good crease, because we're going to be able to tear it on that crease. So one of my favorite facts, speaking of birds that we have here, is that parrots have little bones inside their tongues. Because these guys are really good foragers, they want to be able to open up nuts and things. So their tongue is actually like a little finger. It's pretty dry in there. And they have a bone inside, so they can actually get the nut out and open up that shell really easily. So once you have folded your paper a couple times back and forth, if you put it on the edge of a table, you can tear that part off, and it should come off pretty straight. Maybe. See, I say that, and it doesn't work. There we go. Perfect. So it's a little windy in here, so you have the air conditioning on. Alright, so once you have your square, you are going to fold it in half the other direction. So you're going to have an X down the middle of your paper. So that's my favorite parrot fact. My favorite giraffe fact, I think, is that they only sleep about a half hour to an hour a day. day. And they don't even do that all at once. They sleep in short little naps of a couple minutes at a time. They sleep standing up and often with their eyes open. So that allows Good job. Question.
What is a group of giraffe called?
The group of giraffes is called a tower. That's actually one of my favorite animal facts is just different groups of animals. If you want to look up different groups of animals and what they're called, a group of giraffes is called a tower. A group of tortoises is called a creek. Do you have any of those groups?
A murder of crows.
A murder of
But if it's ravens, then it's a conspiracy of ravens.
Oh, I didn't know that one. That's a good one. A conspiracy of ravens. Yes.
And your mom's tuning in. She says hi.
Hi, Mom! Yeah, sorry. I forgot the instructions. I got distracted. I gotta say hi to my mom. Alright, so once you have it folded, and you can probably see that on my fingers from there I started folding, you can see the big X in the middle. So you're gonna take your corner and fold the corner up into the middle of that X. Make a nice little triangle on the inside. You're so helpful. Man, my phone just all sorts of wants to talk while we're in the middle of this, doesn't it? Alright, let's see some more animal facts. A lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles away. So that's one of my favorites since we have quite a few lions here. We do have a lot of people in the area that say they can hear the lions from pretty far away. Question?
Do you know what the largest pollinator is?
The largest pollinator? No, what's the largest pollinator?
It's actually giraffe.
It's actually giraffes.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but when they eat on the trees and then they go to other trees, they've got some of the pollen on their lips, and they'll actually take it to the other trees.
I love it. That's so cool. Pollinators are really important. That's why we want to spread awareness about bees a lot, because pollinators help us keep all of our plants, which are essential to all life on Earth. So we do love all those pollinators. So you do that with all of your corners as we're building our little fortune teller here. You're going to make sure all of your corners, ooh, I put that one a little bit far. You make sure all your corners come into the center, so you want to line them up as close as you can to the center. Mine's not working out great. I hope yours is doing better. I don't have mine folded.
It's okay.
It's okay. Alright, so once you have all of your corners there in the middle, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing again. So you're going to, right? No, fold it over. Sorry. Forgot what I was doing a second. So turn it all the way over, so all of your little triangles are on the bottom now. Then you're going to do the same thing again. So you're going to fold this into the center. And you're going to keep going around doing that. Another fun fact, let's see, my polar bears have black skin. And this is so that they actually don't have a white fur necessarily. Their fur is more of a clear hollow. It just shows up as white because it all is together. Since they have so much of it, it looks white. But the reason they have black skin and clear, ooh, oh, my thing is kind of wonky. Is so that the sun will get through the clear enough to help them warm up with that dark colored skin since they are in the Arctic. And I don't know what I did wrong, Megan. And then their clear skin or their clear fur also protects them from the sun, so they're not getting a sunburn, but they are getting the heat from it. I'm trying to fix mine a little bit. Mine's kind of a question.
Well, you do. Interesting, but a lot of people may not realize polar bears and penguins. Oh, bird chat.
Bird chat will be in 5 minutes. Ask a keeper near you for location.
Alright, Mango, you're late. Go to bird chat. Let's go. Alright, polar bears and penguins.
They actually don't live in the same hemispheres. A lot of people think that penguins and polar bears are kind of in the same areas, but they're not. Polar bears are only in the northern hemisphere, while penguins are in the southern hemisphere. So when you watch The Little Mermaid 2, that is false. Oh no, I think it was walruses. I apologize. But also walruses are up in the north as well, so you won't see them with penguins either.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. We, in fact, when I was a kid, I think the game was called Don't Break the Ice, but there was like a board game, and you were a little penguin, and you had to make it across all the ice, and the polar bear tried to come and get you. And so all of that media stuff, games and movies and things like that, make us think that they're in the same region, and they're not. So I was pretty surprised to learn that too after I was older. Question back.
And there's also some penguins that live in Africa.
That's true. There are some African penguins. So penguins, yeah, kind of a little bit diverse. Yeah. All right. So once you have your triangles on one side, and on the other side you have squares, you're going to turn it over so the squares are on the outside and fold it in half. So your triangle's on the inside, fold it this time instead of folding it diagonally, you're going to fold it in half like, as I used to say when we were in school, like a hot dog. So we fold it in half that way. And then slip your fingers in here. Underneath all of the flaps. And you're going to kind of poof out the outside and then push it all together like that. And now you have a fun fortune teller. So what we're going to do on the outside, so now that you have it and you see how it works, you can come and decorate it on the outside. So on your outside, you're going to want to add 4 different animals. Now you can put whatever animals you want. So we'll let Megan choose her animals and draw some pictures. Now, keep in mind, because when you fold it, how we're going to play is you count the letters in each animal. So I'll do one with Denise while Megan is decorating. You want to pick an animal?
You bear.
Bear. So bear has 4 letters in it, so we're going to open it 4 times. B, E, A, R. So then we're up to numbers. What number do you want?
5.
5. Oh, I'm sorry. Then you count 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick another number.
Let's do 3.
Great. And then the second time you pick a number, you open it up, and now I can tell Denise her fun fact. Polar bears have black skin. We already talked about it. So that way you can go up to your friends and family and have them pick, and you can tell them a fun new animal fact. So that being said, when you pick your 4 animals, you maybe don't want to pick something like a hippopotamus because that's going to have a lot of letters. So unless you want to do this a lot of times, you're going to want to, that's why I picked short animals. So I picked dog, cat, bird, and bear. So you're going to let Megan pick her animals. I wrote the letters on there so that way I don't forget how many letters I need. So to do that, you want to make sure your flat, because it's a lot easier to draw. And while Megan is decorating hers, we'll share some more animal facts. Let's see. I know right before we started, we were talking about hyenas and how hyenas are actually female dominant. So the females are the matriarchs, so we call that a matriarchy when the females are in charge. Just like when the males are in charge, we call it a patriarchy. So the males are actually the ones that are in charge in hyenas. And they work and things like that. My phone is really active today. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear it, though. It interrupts us, but can you hear it? Have you checked? Oh, cool. Well, you know, have some fun noises while we're enjoying ourselves here.
That's really bad.
Megan, do you have any more animal facts while you're decorating? Denise does. Okay, Denise.
I have all the animal facts. Not really, but I have a lot.
It's funny because we know a lot of animal facts, but when you're like trying to think of them, sometimes your brain freezes.
So there are different types of killer whales. There are transient killer whales and resident killer whales. Generally, resident killer whales, they eat like fish and things like that, whereas transient killer whales usually eat other marine mammals. And their vocalizations will be a little bit different because marine mammals' frequency of hearing is a little bit different than a fish's frequency of hearing.
Interesting. Okay, see, that's why I didn't know. Denise has a lot of marine animal facts that I don't have, so she always shares those with us, so that's really fun. That's really something that's actually fun about a lot of the Keeper series. We have different backgrounds, so we can share different fun facts and information with each other that other ones listening won't have. Speaking of, different frequencies and stuff, that's another fun animal fact, is that bats actually use echolocation to find their prey. So when the bats are out there actually bouncing waves, sound waves off of things to find the bugs and things that they're looking to eat. Yes.
Are there other animals that use echolocation besides bats?
There are other animals that use echolocation, although I can't think of any. I'm sure you have something in mind. Dolphins.
Dolphins.
That's a different system. Dolphins. There's something else though. There's another one.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure.
If
Ooh,
you know it,
fancy.
or you look it up, let us know. Sorry. Ringo has all of these pin feathers, so that's a fun parrot fact. We'll see if we can find any. I've gotten quite a few, so there's not very many left. But when birds have feathers that grow in, that one's not ready, but you can see it. Their feathers grow in like this little casing, and it makes their feathers look like, almost like a porcupine quill. And so what they do to each other, so that one's not ready either, but you can see it. It's starting to grow in there, and then the outside part comes off. So when it's ready, it dries, it kind of gets drier, and it flakes off. And it almost comes off looking like dandruff, but that's how the feather pokes out. So you can see the outside part is flaking off. And then usually they'll groom themselves, but he can't reach the back of his head. So in the wild, a lot of birds will actually, they'll choose a mate that will do that for them. But we do it for some of our birds here that don't have partners, because then they have human partners. So Ringo, when I first picked him up today, he had a whole bunch. But I tend to like get those off of him. Feels good, huh, Ringo? All right, do your pictures. What animals do we have? Let's see.
I have a lion, a dog, a turtle, and a very poorly drawn lemur.
It's not as bad as my lizard.
That's true. I couldn't tell what Denise's lizard was unless she told me. So that's okay. We all have different levels of art skills, so it's fine. All right, so then once you have your animals, you're going to turn it over, and you're just going to number the inside. So I did mine in a rainbow. You can do yours in any colors you want. You can do it all in the same color. Whatever you want to do, you're just going to have numbers on there. And just start with 1, and then just go around the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So once you do that, now you're going to open it up, and you can open up one flap at a time and write some facts in there. So you see mine, I opened it, I drew a line down the middle so we know which side is for the 1 and which side is for the 2. And then you're going to write facts. Now don't tell me what your facts are. Write some animal facts, and that way when we play in a minute, I can learn some new facts. So you're just going to write your fact on one side, write a line down the middle, and write another fact, and you're going to keep doing that all the way around until you have 8 facts. So, see, that's that brain freeze thing. Megan's looking at me like, I don't know your animal facts. She knows a lot of animal facts. She just can't think of them at the moment. The pressure. I will tell you another fun animal fact, bird-wise, is that flamingos are actually not naturally pink. They're born a gray color, so their feathers are coming gray. And because of their diet, they actually turn to that pink color. So that's not their natural color, although that is their natural diet. So it is supposed to happen that way. It's not like people are going out and dying with flamingos. But they are born gray. That is a fun flamingo fact. We don't have any flamingos here. But a fun guinea fowl fact, we are right across from the guinea fowl. The guinea fowl are actually, you can't tell them apart. Even though we have here, we have a male and a female, you can't tell them apart based on their coloring. So our male is actually really, he's like black with a lot of white spots. Which one? And our female is more of a gray color, really lighter than the male. However, you can have males in that color and females in the other color. They're kind of interchangeable. The way you can tell them apart is by the sounds they make and by their waddle. So just like the turkey has that red waddle underneath his chin, same thing with the guinea fowl, and the males have more of that red skin underneath. Oh, Ringo's talking. Ringo does talk. So parrots do a lot of mimicking. They like to say words. Ringo's favorite is hi, but he doesn't say it very much when we're holding him because he likes to do it to get our attention. So when he already has our attention, sometimes he doesn't talk so much. So I tried to get him to say hi earlier and he didn't do it. You should say hi to everybody. No?
I have another fun fact.
Yes, more fun facts. That's what we're doing.
Invasive species. Did you know there is a population of hippopotamuses in South America?
Oh, how did they get there? Do you know?
I do. Pablo Escobar, he had a zoo down in South America, and then they released the hippos, and they've actually created, I think there's a population of like 40 to 60, and they actually do really well down there because they actually don't go through a dry season. So they're able to mature and do a little bit better than they would in Africa, so their population is kind of bloomed per se. So there's an invasive species of hippopotamus down in South America.
That is a very interesting fact. So yeah, invasive species are pretty interesting in and of themselves. So a lot of times, so invasive species are things that we talk about that aren't supposed to be there. So hippopotamuses are not native to South America. And so they go in and they take over because they can thrive there, but they're not native to there. So they'll actually take over resources from other animals that are native to them.
Lionfish are another invasive species down in Florida. They're not native to Florida area.
Florida, I believe, has a lot of invasive species. Florida's a really easy place for animals to live. They have a lot of good environment. A lot of animals like it's got high humidity, it's kind of wet, and there's plenty of plants and things. And so there's quite a few invasive species. Well, one of the reasons that people have invasive species in their areas is actually because people will get pets, kind of like these guys. They will get them because they think they're really fun and awesome, and then they'll kind of decide to release them into the wild. This is not a very good idea. They will, one, cause invasive species. I know there's, in Florida, actually speaking of Florida, there is an invasive, I can't remember what parrot it is, but somebody let their pet parrots
Oh, I don't remember which one it is either. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I want to say lorikeets, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But they let their parrots out because they didn't want them anymore, and surprisingly they thrived. So you'll either have one of two things happen. You'll end up with an invasive species like the parrots because they bred and created more, and now they're big flocks of parrots that are taking over the natural homes of other birds that are native to the area. Or your pet is going to die off, which is the most likely thing because these guys don't know how to take care of themselves. We talk about that a lot with our lions too. These guys, they don't, have the skills it takes to live in the wild. The wild is a hard place, and these guys are pretty spoiled. They're used to having air conditioning and their food brought to them. And so if they did go out, they wouldn't know how to hunt, and they go looking for people for food, which would cause all sorts of problems.
And some of our lions are also really picky about the temperature of their food.
Oh yes, absolutely. So yeah, that's a fun fact about our lions in specific, is some of our cats, if you give them their food, they like it to be almost frozen. I know Rock and Buzzy are ones that really like cold meat. So if you give them anything that's not almost frozen, they don't want it. But some of our other cats, if it's that cold, they won't eat it. They want it to be that nice room temperature, thank you. So they are very picky. So I don't think they'd be too their own food down. How's it going, Megan? Are we almost done on that?
Halfway there.
We're halfway there.
Find really obscure facts.
Okay,
We haven't
perfect.
talked about
I'll be excited. That's true because I'm also taking up some of her ideas as we keep going. That is a lot of fun. One of my favorites is, let's see, ostriches actually have, and we've actually had debates about this here with our keepers because we are like, there's no way this can be true, but we've looked it up several times. Ostriches have the largest eyeball out of any land animal. So there are males and eyeballs. That's my fiance next year, I can tell by the tone. Hi, fiance. Yeah, they have the largest eyeball. So we kind of argue because we have a giraffe and we see both the ostriches and the giraffe pretty up close, and some of the keepers here were like, there's no way, because Ozzy has such a big eyeball, there's no way that the ostriches have a bigger eyeball. And it's really close, but they do have the biggest eyeball. Yes.
Giraffe eyeballs are about the size of a golf ball.
There you go. That's a good one, see? And that's a nice, easy one that you can say really fast. So, their eyes are about the size of a golf ball, and ostriches are just a tiny bit bigger. So it's really close to the size of a golf ball, but they are a tiny bit bigger. Speaking of things that are the size of other things, I can't remember now the kind of bat, but the smallest mammal is actually a species of bat. if I think of the species, I will say. But it's a species of bat, and they're the size of 2 M&Ms. They're very tiny.
You almost there, Megan?
And 2 more.
2 more.
Lemurs are also female dominant.
Lemurs are also female dominant.
Have you ever heard of what a fission fusion society is?
A fission fusion society? No, go ahead and tell
So
us
we've
about
heard of matriarchal, patriarchal. There are animals that will come together and break apart by choosing the animals they want to be with. Did you know that giraffe are actually a fission fusion society?
it. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. Very cool.
They,
I said all my facts were in my thing. Oh, I do have one that's Megan's fact actually that she gave me earlier. Did you use it for your?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know. Alright. Megan's favorite movie is Jurassic Park, and she told me that the T-Rex foot that they used in Jurassic Park, they modeled after an emu. Emu feet are very interesting, and birds actually, they are discovered, are probably one of the closest relatives to a lot of dinosaurs. So, bird feet, oh, I lost him. Oh, there. Bird feet, no, we're going, no, we'll see. I'm going to start yelling, and then, like, we start talking louder, and then the mic's going to cut on, and you guys are going to be like, screw that. Yeah, emu feet are really interesting. Emus have 3 toes, but ostriches are actually 2 toes. So all of the birds really have 3 or 4 toes. You can see Ringo has 4 toes. He's got 2 in the front and 2 in the back, which is called zygodactyl. But ostriches only have 2 toes, and it is so that they can run really quickly. So another fun fact is that ostriches run up to about 40 miles per hour. And people will actually ride them. So they will actually have ostrich races because they run so fast. And they're so strong, they have really strong legs. Smaller people are able to sit on top of the ostrich and actually do ostrich races.
we do not recommend this.
No, I definitely don't try that at home kind of thing. There are people that do that, and I'm not one of them, and I don't recommend you try it either.
Do you know what the ampullae of Lorenzini is?
I don't even know what you said to you guys. Go ahead and try that one again.
The ampullae of Lorenzini.
No.
It's that little electric sense that the sharks have. It's a little sensor.
Oh,
That's how
yeah.
they sense those kind of electric things in the water.
Okay, yeah, perfect. That's a good one. I don't think I'll remember that really nice long scientific word, maybe after a while. But yeah, it's and they do have like an electromagnetic pulse thing that will come navigate.
And that's what it's called.
There you go.
I'm ready to go.
All right, she's ready.
I
So
got something next.
hopefully you guys also have one at home too. So all right, so go ahead, Megan, and put your portrait number together. All right, let me see your animals again. I'm gonna choose lemur. Lemur. 2. 5.
So you talked about rainbow speaking zygodactyl, but when 2 toes are actually fused together like this, it is called syndactyl.
Dactyl. That's a good one. Very cool. All right. So you've seen our fidget spinner. Sorry, in my brain. You've seen our little portrait colors, and hopefully you guys followed along and you made one of your own. So now you can go share fun animal facts with your friends and family. If you did make some craft with us, go ahead and share in the comments. We always love to see you guys' artwork and fun facts. If you have any more fun facts you want to share with us, also share those in the comments. And then as always, we do want to say thank you guys for all of your donations. Anyone who has added us on Amazon Smile, please share with your friends and family so they can also add us on Amazon Smile. I know I shared it with everyone that I know. So all of those little bits add up. Everyone will actually donate a small amount to every purchase you make back to us. So that really helps if you share with your friends and family because that little bit all starts to add up. You can also make donations straight to this post. You can also post them on our Facebook page in general or on our website at lionhabitatraNH.org. We are currently open to the public, so we are following all directives and things. That's why we have the face masks and everything like that. So if you guys did want to come out and see us, you can book your tickets online. You can also buy Aussie paintings online. You can see some of those in our albums here, so that all those things add up and really help us out. That's what makes us able to stay here and take we have here at the ranch. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all your donations.